a lot of cops up here earlier, which is kind of weird. Like, you never see them up here. I mean, rarely. There was 4 of them too, like all driving together, like coming up around the corner over here, and that's something you never see. I wonder what they were doing. Anyway, I guess like a couple of days ago, I was doing a video with and I mentioned the Lahaina thing. I was talking about the Maui thing, and your boy Jay Green pops up on the screen, and of course everybody comes out and starts yelling at him, telling him to fuck off and everything. Dave and Pete, and then Carl Jung comes out and just says murderer, and everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, we can't really say that quite yet, but it seems like you can say that now, because that's what everybody's saying now. Some footage came out that showed how cops were rerouting people back into the flames, back in the fire, to burn to death, because that was the point, to murder these people. Moving them off the land doesn't really mean anything if they're going to come back. I mean, they have to get rid of them, right? And it's not just about the land now. That they don't do these things just for one result. They have a lot of stuff they like to get done every time they do one of these rituals. And in this case, there's a lot of shenanigans going on with kids, because of course there is. You know, the kid trade is pretty big here in Hawaii, on this island and on the other islands. But I guess a lot of them kind of vanished, didn't return to school. I don't know what the number of kids missing currently is, but yeah, they kind of, before they do one of these things, these rituals with spells and all this other shit, they figure out what they want or what they want to get out of it before they do it, and then they do it. But it's nice to see that footage is getting out, because the cops denied, of course, that they were sending people to their death, but they absolutely were. And I wonder how far they would have went, like those scumbags led by the guy that looks like the Thing over there. Like, would they have opened fire on people if they tried to get through the barricade, the cop barricade? Because the cops were, you know, using cop force to make them go back and burn to death, is exactly what was happening. And now there's video evidence of it. Scumbags, complete scumbags. The cops here are, I mean, you know, all you gotta do is Google Hawaii police, and you'll get pages and pages and pages of just evil shit. Yeah, you don't want to. They'll do it to their own people too. They don't care. It's kind of a problem with the islanders. Like, they don't stick together at all. Every time you get one good guy like a Kurt Pabala who tries to do stuff for his people, he gets fucking shamed and attacked and in public, because there's this idea that if they play ball with their invaders, they're going to get something out of it, and very few of them do. But enough that very few somehow can maintain control among the rest of them. They just tell them, no, this will be. It goes back to the trading women for ship nails thing, you know, like, oh yeah, give these guys your women, you each get a nail. It's like, I don't know about that. Yeah, do it. There's always one guy in the group, right? One guy among their people that's saying, no, we're all going to benefit from this. We're going to have tons of ship nails. And the guy trying to get them to turn their women over for the nails, he gets 10 nails. Everybody gets one. And just follow that throughout history. And that's how things have gone here since then. You know, it like, a lot of the anger, I think, comes from the fact that they gave away all their shit and didn't get anything for it. Because they gave their shit away. There's never any resistance here. Like there was never a Hawaiian resistance. If you look at what would be considered D-Day for these people, like when the the foreigners took the islands, there was no battle, there was no fight, there was no nothing. I think the thinking was, well, we'll let them have it, and they'll give us something for it. And they didn't give them anything for it. Very few people got anything out of it. So, like now, when you have these movements that, you know, want are against tourism or against, you know, anyone that isn't from the islands, are they mad because you're invading their space, or are they mad because they didn't get anything out of it? I don't know. You know, you have to think about that. But the cops here are just, fuck, man. Talk about evil. They already did this over on Big Island. 2018, they had these volcanic eruptions that were not natural. That's a whole nother rabbit hole story to go down into. But they were being, they're making the eruptions happen. What they were doing is they would tell people who lived in these expensive communities in these areas where they lived, they'd be like, oh no, the lava's coming through here, you have to get out of here. And they were loading people up on these buses to bring them to safety, many of which people haven't heard from again, looted their houses, took all their shit, demolished everything, resold it. But that's just how they fucking do shit. They did this Hurricane Harvey, same thing. There's a guy, Show Me Baby, I'll link him below. He went to Hurricane Harvey to help out down there, and they were doing the same thing. They're blocking the roads so that people would die in the flood. And then what they would do is they would go in and take. It's a FEMA move. It's the same thing. A lot of these FEMA guys are mercenaries, just bad dudes. Ex-cons, people that have been in trouble for some other stuff or have worked doing some shady shit in other countries over the years. A lot of those guys work for FEMA. And yeah, that's how they do land grabs. Natural disaster that they cause. They displace a lot of people, kill a lot of people, loot areas, demolish areas, take the children, and just go do it somewhere else. And that's what's happened here. They'll get away with it, unfortunately, and it'll happen again somewhere else, unfortunately, because there's really not much you can do. Your protection is spiritual. The war is spiritual. It's not physical. You can't physically beat these people. And I'd posit that trying to physically beat them only hurts you. You can't get them that way. There's going to be a reckoning. There's going to be, you know, their time here is almost up, and they know it. A lot of this flexing of the beast muscle, it's not from a place of strength, it's from a place of weakness. It's from a place of desperation. It's like I always say, the squid monster on the ground dying. He's going into the pit, right? But he's flailing his arms everywhere, trying to hit and hurt and destroy anything it can before it goes down into the pit. It wants to take whatever it can down with them. Awareness and casting a light is really the only thing you can do. Like, you got a whole pit of snakes or bugs or whatever. You put a flashlight in there, and that's how you and they all scatter. You know, vermin, when you put a flashlight on it, they'll scatter. It's the same thing. You know, that's all you can really do. Be aware and just cast light wherever you can, wherever you go. But yeah, it's pretty sad. It's what do? There's not a lot you can do. It's just crazy to see them doing that over there. Just you know, circling people right back into it. You know, right back into it. Oh yeah, I got the radar on, don't worry. I don't relax. I ain't relaxing. It's part of the, this is part of one of those things you have around here now, which you didn't have before. Let's see what's down here. I've been out here in a while. It's basically just a beach. I always I always walk parallel to this area, though I never really pop out into it. So it's nice once in a while to do that. This is all resorts over here. The people that flee from, like the camera, like whenever you go by someone and they cower or they hide, you kind of got to wonder what's up with that person. You know, that's, what are they up to, you know? Because evil tends to run away from the light. They run away from observation. They don't like it. It's nice out here tonight. It's funny, I live on the beach and I hardly ever go on it. I should. It kind of gives you a certain kind of headspace. Clears up your mind a little bit. The only thing ruining the atmosphere is fucking sweet fucking Caroline over here. It's either that or Hotel California. Talk about taking a nice area and just putting you in the 7th layer of hell. Sorry, I thought this would be a good idea to bring you guys over here for change, but yeah, best laid plans. We're just gonna come out here and get back on the strip. It's nice out here though. When I first moved here, I used to come out here a lot and just kind of sit in the sand and look at the ocean. It's like I almost forget it's here. But yeah, the time is up. This whole thing's coming to an end. The Lord is returning with a sword. And he's all out of bubblegum. It's just kind of, you have to endure. That's kind of what our thing is here, is to just endure. I like to report though, as I endure. That's just, I guess, a way to contribute somehow. The beach closes up, what time, at 2? Maybe even 1. I think they close it up at 1 now. And then it's closed from 1 to, I think 5? 1 to 5 they close it up. Looks nice in there. Tree, colored lights. This guy's much better. His tunes are much better than the other ones. Gotta watch out what you're walking on here. Fucking animals around here, they'll throw anything in the sand. Bob Marley, yeah, he's another one that's big. I don't mind hearing the Bob Marley stuff. At least the tunes are good, you know, but he's another big one that a lot of people do. This building here is that big white building that you see me walk by all the time. Where we're gonna come out up here is out by the police station, where all the cops show up to check in and then they vanish. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were doing up there. They were up on the strip though, like 4 of them, kind of going around circles. I don't know what they were doing. It's just rare to see them up there, so they caught my eye, you know. It's kind of quiet for Saturday. I mean, out here it's quiet anyway, but back there on the strip, kind of quiet. Well, summer's over, basically. I mean, what are we, like halfway through September? No, something doesn't get out of here. I just got people's way. Yeah, summer's done. It's kind of weird. Like, it's hard to keep track of seasons here, because a lot of it feels, you know, the same, because the weather's always pretty consistent. It's always like, you know, the same. It's nice. I'm not complaining. I mean, I'd much rather live here than really anywhere else. I grew up in New England, so it's nice to live in a place where I don't have to own a pair of long pants, and I don't. I think the longest shirts I have are t-shirts. This place over here, this place was set on fire twice. They used to have this used to be all surfboards here, and it was burned down twice over the past couple of years. I did videos on it, so as far as I'm concerned, that's settled signs. But yeah, this is a police station right here, and this used to be a holding place for surfboards, tons of them, hundreds of them, and they burned the thing down twice, right next to the police station during the day. So that gives you an idea of how on top of things people are. Well, they had their own stuff to worry about. Like I said, if you use the Googly machine and you take a look at Hawaii police, it's like they're so busy doing their own crimes, they don't have time to like look at real crime. And look at this window here, like, could you have, they might as well just board those windows up. Like, these were the windows facing where the fire was. It's like, Jesus. If you wanted to get away with some shit, crime-wise, this is the fucking place to do it. You're never gonna get caught, because no one's fucking looking to catch you. No one's gonna catch you. Should we go look at the healing stones? Yeah, let's go take a look at the healing stones. More settled science. We've talked about the healing stones before. They were brought here by some... Well, no, they weren't brought here. The islands were visited by these sort of pseudo-alien type of hermaphrodite people. They weren't men, they weren't women, but they brought this incredible healing power, and they were healing everyone of all kinds of ailments and stuff. And then when they were leaving, they got these stones and they put their power, they put their healing power into these stones. And they said, you know, if you need to be healed, here you go. So of course they lock them up, and they make it so that you can't reach them. The stones themselves were lost for many years. They were buried underneath a bowling alley. Then they were in someone's backyard. Was it Cleghorn's backyard? I think it was Cleghorn's backyard. Yeah, I don't know. Now the story goes they were imbued with power. The stones themselves come from not Kamiki. They're supposed to be bell stones. So if they ring, if you hit them, of course you can't get to them because they keep you away from them. So who the fuck knows? But yeah, kind of weird. Like, we're gonna imbue these stones with our power, so if you need to be healed, here you go. And what they do, they took them, they hid them, they buried them under a bowling alley, and now they have them here on display where you can't touch them. Kind of weird, but you know, there's a lot of weird shit goes on around here, man. I don't understand a lot of it. This is a police station. Does it look like one? Does it look like one? No. Right? You wouldn't even know. There's no one in there. There was one guy in there, one guy in the dark, saying, please don't come to me for anything. I can't help you. I'm gonna wrap it around and go home. No demons. Nothing too exciting. If anything does pop out, fire the camera up again. But yeah, God wins in the end anyway. So fuck those evil people over in fucking Lahaina. They're not gonna get what they want, and they are gonna get it. God's gonna see to it. And they may laugh about that now, but they won't be laughing later. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school. Holy shit! That guy's awesome.